Mere Christianity. That's what I'm gonna talk about this video here. Okay, if you don't know, it's a C.S. Lewis book he wrote a long time ago, but it's pretty cool and it's still useful, just like any other classic nowadays. So if you want to know more about this book, understand before buy, read, ask it to some friend to borrow you. Keep watching this video because I'm gonna explain a couple of things that you have to know before reading, okay? Just keep on this video. I hope that dogs that are barking don't bother and disturb the video, but yeah, my name is Maiamann, and that's today's video. Let's start here. Christianity. First of all, this video here is being made as a follow-up to the how you should treat an atheist video, okay? I'm gonna put the link here, the video, the card, right? How you should treat an atheist. There, I talked about 3 steps that you should use to develop a good argument and a relationship with atheists that you consider important to have a relationship without trying to convert them, but just make them understand your point of view. And in a moment in that video, specifically in the 3rd step, I talk about how you should split the layers of the believing system, because when you start to believe or when you stop believing, it's not a sudden process. It's not out of the blue, you just believe or don't believe. It's a layer on the top of another layer, right? So these layers helps people to understand the base, right, and the top of believing something. I talk more about it there, so I suggest you to watch it if you haven't yet, right? So there I talk about these layers, and there I suggest the Mere Christianity book, which is a book written by C.S. Lewis, a guy that he used to be an atheist and became Christian. So he will talk about the Christian perspective, obviously in Christianity, right? But he puts so meaningful thoughts to understand all of those layers that I explained in that video. So that's why I suggest it, because it will help you to take a good book, understand a good author, and got some arguments to use when you are talking with an atheist, because in this book he splits the process of believing and what makes him got converted. Again, my goal with my videos is not try to convert people or try to make them agree with me. I just want to show my perspective about how the relationship with God and the spiritual thing, if I could say like that, works. Okay, so let's jump and dive into the video, right? So first things first, and something that I have to mention is that the Mere Christianity is not a book that C.S. Lewis started writing and decided, okay, I'm gonna write this book. We have to understand that in the old times, he was Tolkien's friend, right? And the Lord of the Rings author, if you don't know this, if you live in a cave probably, he was an atheist, and Tolkien helped him to understand how Christianity works and to accept Jesus and become a Christian. That's why he wrote, for example, Narnia, right? The Chronicles of Narnia, because it's like a Christianism illustration about what Jesus did. You know, like the lion and the queen and all of it. That's not the goal of this video. What you have to know before reading it is that Tolkien was already famous at that time, just like C.S. Lewis became after it. And we are talking about, you know, that situation that happened in the 40s that I'm not gonna mention you don't think that I'm talking about that, but we are talking about that age, that era. So he was like a huge author that used to be an atheist that got converted. So people wanted to know about him and what led him to become a Christian. He wrote some articles, and those articles became lectures. Okay, so these lectures he broadcasted through some BBC radio shows, right? And to people from everywhere in his country. So that's something that you guys need to understand before reading it, right? Because it's not a book wrote for Christians, and it's not a book written for atheists. It's a book that compiled his lectures, his radio speeches into a book. After a while, he added some new thoughts, new information, but the base of the book, the Mere Christianity, it's a compilation of his lectures through the BBC radio, right? It's not something that he wrote to convert or anything like that. It's just a book that he explains what he believes. He explained how he got there, how he started to think like that. So it's pretty cool about it, because when you realize it and you know how to read, become a pretty good reader. And when I say about know how to read, I'm not talking about the ABC stuff, right? I'm talking about something that it's the topic of this video here that I'm gonna put in the card, that I talk about know how to read, specifically classics. But the point here is, even C.S. Lewis, if he would read his own book nowadays, probably he would agree with less than, I don't know, 95% or something. You don't have to agree with 100% of what you're gonna read in this book, just to help you to get in some point, to help you think deeper, right? And this book is pretty good to help you to do it. As is a book that it's not made for convert people, don't think you're gonna convert people with it or even get converted. So it's a book for everyone, and it's just to understand how he got there. So he uses examples and metaphors along the book to help people to understand not just how Christianity works, but how the thought was built in his mind, you know? So for example, when he tries to explain how basic things on Christianism works, he used some good metaphors. I'm gonna remember one here right now. Wait a minute. For example, when he's trying to explain how the Father and Son thing works. Christian people believe that God is our Father, right? Just like he is Jesus' Father. So what is the difference between us and between Jesus? Who is more Son than other, you know? So he uses some metaphors to explain how it works. He said that it's like an artist. Imagine that are an artist that do a lot of good paintings, right? And he has a wife and he has a son, and he has a lot of paintings that he takes a long time to produce, paintings that he knows that people will remember him through this paintings. So it's really important to him preserve and make people understand what was his artist goal with this piece of art, right? So it's really important to him that the art itself, right? But he has his family. When he looks at his arts, he feels love, he likes it, and he wants to keep it safe. He wants to protect as much that he look at it as his own children, his arts, right? But so he would protect and do thousands of good things with his art. But he has his own son, who is his kid. It's the same thing about us, you know. There's God, he has Jesus as his son, and we are his paintings, we are his pieces of art. And I really like this metaphor because it helps people to understand much better, at least how the Christianism works, and look at our relationship, our family relationship with God, you know? So along the book, he will use this kind of metaphors to explain things. And something that I have to disclaim here, it's sometimes when he takes some topic that it's a little harder to explain, he just gives some simple explanation and runs away, you know? I'm not talking about in a bad perspective or try to attack him, but yeah, that's what happens there. That's not just my opinion, but I'm just talking about a book, okay? I'm not talking about Bible or something else. But it's, even though it's a really good book to read, I invite you to read it. I'm gonna put the link down below here because I'm pretty sure that you're gonna like and understand not just how it worked with him, his conversion, but how it works with thousands and millions of people around the world to understand how the you know, our relationship with God and believing works. And just like I mentioned in the How You Should Treat an Atheist video, it's a book that will help you to deal with people that used to be like C.S. Lewis. Actually, I don't want this video to get too long, so I'm gonna try to be short here. But yeah, about the Tolkien and C.S. Lewis relationship, I'm gonna make a video that I'm gonna react to a situation that happened between them. I'm gonna put the link. I haven't made this video yet, but I'm going to upload this one here that you are watching, like in the same week that I'm gonna upload this video that I'm gonna react to C.S. Lewis and Tolkien talking. So Tolkien talking. So I'm gonna already put it here. You can watch it because it's pretty cool to understand how Tolkien explained him through writing, artistic writing, how Christianism and believe in something works. Is pretty cool because you already wrote the Hobbit in that time when he was trying to explain C.S. Lewis how important it is for you to let your imagination works in. This is the best proof that something may happen, you know. I'm gonna talk more about it in that video, but for me, it's like what I understood is that God had an idea and created something before God created us. He had to believe in it and not just believe, but to imagine, picture it. And we are able to picture and imagine something that doesn't exist. So in Genesis, said that God created us as his image. I don't know if in English, in the English Bible, English version is writing like that, but one says that God created us by or through as him, as his image. I pretty like it because we have, just like him, he gave us the skill of creating something, but just in the idea world. I'm gonna talk more about it in this video here, so I suggest you to click it, and I ask you to check this link below to take your version of Mere Christianity bit, because I'm pretty sure that you're gonna like, okay? So see you in the next video, guys.